I'm Michael Laron, and this is the Writer's Journey podcast, where you get a window into the life of a working science fiction and fantasy author. I'm on a mission to go from nobody to bestseller, and I'm documenting every step of the way. Tune in every week as I share my progress and discover what inspires my books and how I write them. You can find the show notes for today's episode at michaellaron.com/podcast. This week, I'm giving an update on my work, and I'm answering your questions. Hello, and welcome to episode 33. In writing news, I just finished my newest book, How to Write Your First Novel, a stress-free guide to writing fiction for beginners. I get a lot of questions about how to write your first novel, so I decided to write a book about it. I cover every element of the novel writing process, and I get into the nitty-gritty. So if you want someone to hold your hand as you write your first book, definitely check it out at authorlevelup.com/yourfirstnovel. The book is, actually, as I record this, is now live in ebook and paperback, so you can grab it now at that link if you please. And my audiobook narrator is in the works of recording the audiobook right now. He told me that he should have it done next week, so if all goes well and the audiobook QA stuff goes well, we're aiming for a mid-November release date, so you'll be able to experience the book in all formats, kind of like Be a Writing Machine. So it's very important for me that my book is available in all formats, especially nonfiction. So it'll be about a 3-hour ebook or a 3-hour audiobook. So you'll be able to listen to it on the drive to work, or when you're at work on break, or when you're doing chores or at the gym. Whatever your choice is, you'll be able to consume the content in the choice that you read. As far as what's next, I'm still trying to decide. I may end the year with another nonfiction book so I can start the year with novels, which I think is always a great way to start the year, but I'll keep you guys posted. In marketing news, I attended the Indie Lab conference by Writer's Digest in Cincinnati, Ohio, and that was a great time. It was awesome. So my presentation on blogging, audio, and video for writers went very well, and if you guys want, you can view those slides at authorlevelup.com/IndieLab. I made those available to anyone at the conference, but I think enough time has passed that anyone who wants to grab them, you certainly can. And the big takeaways from the conference for me was just how far self-publishing has come. I fully expected people to smirk at me when I mentioned that I was a self-published writer, but instead, most of the people in the audience were self-published, and many of the vendors there had services for self-published writers, which would not have been the case a few years ago, so that was awesome. I was proud to represent the Alliance of Independent Authors, and I made some great connections that I wouldn't have made if I were sitting in my chair, so that's why I highly recommend writing conferences if you can attend. I did a roundup post on my experience at Indie Lab, and I'll link to it in the show notes. In other news, I'll be in Las Vegas from November 6th through 8th at the 20 Books to 50K conference at Sam's Town Hotel. So if you're going to be there, give me a shout. A few people who subscribe to my channel and a few podcast listeners have told me that they're going to be there, so I will be meeting them, which is going to be awesome, in person. First time I've met any of my subscribers in person, so that'll be really cool. So if you're going to be there, please let me know. I would love to meet you. And this is going to be a far bigger conference. I think there's going to be, I think I saw anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people there. So much bigger conference, and I'll be speaking on how to balance writing and a full-time job. In other marketing news, I've been doing some work on my website and social media pages. I've been, to date, posting on sites like Google+, Pinterest, and Goodreads, but there's almost no audience there for me. I mean, I post stuff up, and it's just like a ghost town. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to stop posting on the following networks for now: Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, and Goodreads. They're great social media networks, but I just don't seem to have much traction there, and I feel like I'm splitting my focus a little too much. So very few of you guys engage with me there, so I don't think anyone listening to this is going to be affected, and most of my engagement these days is on Twitter and Facebook, so I'll be redoubling my efforts there. In addition to this, I will no longer be publishing the Writer's Journey episodes on YouTube. So almost no one listens to this podcast on YouTube. I don't think anyone listens to podcasts on YouTube, so I doubt anyone will be heartbroken over this. But cutting back on these networks is going to help me focus and provide a better user experience on the networks where I'm active. So be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you want updates from me. In even more marketing news, I did a ton of podcast interviews this month. I think I hit a record, and I usually do like 1 or 2 a month, but I did like 1,000 this month. Well, I'm exaggerating, but I did a lot. So I appeared on the Go Indie Now podcast with Joe Compton, and I actually did 2 interviews with Joe. I did one to promote Ally. It was like a press interview, just spreading the word of Ally to people that maybe haven't heard of it. And then I did another separate one after that with him about me and my books. So Joe is a super cool guy, and this was a relaxing interview. I also did a video interview with my friend Dale Roberts on his YouTube channel, Self-Publishing with Dale. So Dale is awesome. We had a lot of fun on this show, so be sure to check that one out too. Dale and his wife Kelly are 2 of my favorite YouTubers, so I'll drop a link to their channel. He does, they do videos on self-publishing and marketing, so be sure to check him out. I absolutely love his channel. I also did an interview with Amy Collins of New Shelves Books on how to use YouTube and how to produce videos for writers. I talk about my process for creating videos and tips that writers can use to leverage the power of online video. I believe that will go live at the end of the month. And finally, I did an interview with Nigel Wingate of the Simple Self-Publishing University, and we talk about nonfiction and how to write it and how to conceive it, and how nonfiction writers can find their audience and market to them better. So, yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said I did a lot of podcast interviews. We have a special question from our special guest, Oswald. Oswald asks, "What is your favorite Halloween memory, Michael?" Great question, Oswald. I don't know if this is a favorite memory per se, but it's pretty vivid. When I was a boy, maybe 5 or 6 years old, my grandfather took me trick-or-treating. Somehow I got separated from him. I encountered some older kids, and as a joke, they stuffed me in a trash can. My grandfather found me later that night in a clown costume and drenched in my own tears. True story. So again, not my favorite memory, but one I never forgot. But I've always kept a positive mindset about life, despite bullying. Even when other people don't like me or treat me poorly, I make the best of every situation. In fact, last year on Halloween, I decided to take a walk through my neighborhood, to see all the kids' costumes and house decorations. I took a turn onto a street that I had never walked down before, and all of a sudden I was standing in front of this huge Victorian house with cobwebs everywhere, stained glass windows lit up like fire in the moonlight, and crows on the lawn eating a rotting pumpkin. I live in a modern neighborhood, and there aren't any Victorians, so I thought, damn, this is pretty cool. I sidestepped a pool of blood in the driveway and decided to knock on the door and ask these people who did their decorations, because they were awesome. A flock of bats flew out of the porch, scaring the crap out of me. Then, a hunchback guy with a buzz cut and 2.5 teeth opened the door, frowning at me. We started chatting, and he told me that this was actually a haunted house, and he told me to go away. I told him I loved haunted houses, and I asked him how much a tour cost. He smiled a gummy grin, swiped a lantern off the wall, and offered to show me around for free. Believe it or not, I have a tape from my visit to the world's scariest haunted house. Check it out.
Welcome to the world's scariest haunted house. I am your guide, Igor, and if you're lucky, you will die a swift death tonight. This way, please.
Oh, hey Igor, how's it going, buddy? Good to be here. I like what you've done with the drapes. Very tasteful.
Hurry up.
Oh,
Pathetic weakling. He didn't even last 10 seconds. Ha ha.
Hey, Igor, would you mind giving me a hand?
Wait, you're alive? There's a 50-foot drop under that trapdoor.
I climbed up, but, I need to find a restroom. I may or may not need to change my underwear.
Down the hall. Second door to your left.
Thanks, you're the best. Holy!
Wait, you're still alive? My man was supposed to hack off your limbs with his chainsaw.
That actor was something else, Igor. You guys were funny. At first, I thought he was Jason, but when I complimented him on using an electric chainsaw instead of gas, he lifted his mask and smiled at me, wagged his finger. Real nice guy. Needs a dental appointment, something awful, but his heart's in the right place.
Follow me. I'll make sure we dismember you for real this time.
What was that, Igor?
Nothing, sir. Please, right this way.
This is a great house. How much do you think it's worth? Those Victorian crown moldings are incredible, and I bet these stained glass octagons look incredible on a sunny day.
You want to live here?
Well, the tarantulas have got to go, but sure, why not? $100,000 and I could turn this place into an Airbnb.
Wait right here, sir. When I pull this lever, let's see if you keep your head.
What was that, Igor?
Nothing, sir.
Whoa, damn, that was close.
Why did you duck, you fool? You're nothing but an ignoramus who deserves to die, you stupid.
Hey, Igor, look out. Giant axe coming your way.
Oh, crap.
Hey, Igor. You guys are killing me, man. That was a funny joke. Okay. I'll turn around. How about you put your head back on and show me the rest of the house? Igor? Ooh, Igor. Oh boy. He's a goner. I guess I better get out of here and call 911. Where was that trapdoor again? Probably should avoid that if I can. Hey, I like that grandfather clock. I wonder how much... One of these days, I promise to find a tape that doesn't result in my grisly death. Anyway, I guess I need to learn how to pick up on context clues. I totally misunderstood what Igor meant when he said it was a haunted house. You live and you learn, I guess. Thanks for joining me this week. If you enjoyed the show, here are a couple ways to help a brother out. If you're listening to this on Anchor, favorite the show. If you're listening to this on a podcast app, do me a favor and write me a review and share it with your friends. You can, of course, visit my website and learn more about my work at michaellaron.com. If you have a question, send me a voice message on Anchor and you just might hear it on the show. Next week, I'll be talking about the writing life. Until then, I leave you with a quote. Some people are born for Halloween, and some are just counting the days until Christmas. Stephen Graham Jones.